In a quiet village, surrounded by golden fields and gentle hills, there lived an old farmer named Hari. He was known throughout the village not for his wealth or strength, but for his calm smile and kind heart. Every morning, before the sun rose fully into the sky, Hari would wake up, say a silent prayer, and begin his day's work. His life was simple. He owned a small hut, a few tools, and 2 large clay pots. These pots were his most valuable possessions, for they helped him carry water from the river to his home and fields. Each day, Hari would place the pots on either end of a wooden pole, balance it on his shoulders, and walk the long path to the river. One pot was perfectly shaped. Its surface was smooth, strong, and unblemished. It took great pride in its beauty and usefulness. The other pot, however, was cracked. A thin line ran along its side, and though it still held water, it slowly leaked as Hari walked home. For years this routine continued. Every morning the farmer carried both pots to the river, filled them with cool, fresh water, and walked back home. By the time he arrived, the perfect pot remained full, while the cracked pot was only half full. The perfect pot felt proud of its flawless performance. It would often whisper to itself, "I am valuable. I do my job perfectly. I never fail." But the cracked pot felt deep shame. "I am useless," it thought. "Because of me, the farmer's effort is wasted. I am broken, imperfect, and unworthy." This feeling grew heavier each day. The cracked pot watched as the farmer worked tirelessly, and guilt began to fill its fragile clay heart. One morning, after many years of silent suffering, the cracked pot finally spoke. As Hari walked slowly along the dusty path, the pot gathered courage and said softly, "Dear farmer, I must apologize." Hari stopped, surprised. He had never heard his pot speak before. "Apologize?" he asked gently. "For what?" "For my weakness," the pot replied, its voice trembling. "I am cracked. I leak water every day. Because of me, you only get half the water you carry. You work hard, yet I fail you. I am ashamed of my flaw." Hari smiled, not with pity, but with warmth. "Today," he said, "I want you to observe something carefully." They reached the river, filled both pots, and began the journey home. The cracked pot stayed silent but watched closely. As they walked, it noticed something unusual. Along its side of the path there were beautiful wildflowers, bright yellow marigolds, soft purple blossoms, and tiny white daisies dancing in the breeze. The cracked pot had seen them before, but had never thought much about them. When they reached home, Hari gently placed the pots down. "Did you notice the flowers?" he asked. "Yes," the pot replied. "They were beautiful, but I do not understand how that helps my failure." Hari sat beside the pot and spoke with quiet wisdom. "For many years I have known about your crack. I planted seeds along your side of the path. Every day as we walked back from the river, the water you leaked nourished them. You may think you are losing water, but you have been giving life." The cracked pot was silent. Hari continued, "Because of you, I have fresh flowers to decorate my home. I give them to neighbors, friends, and children. Your flaw has created beauty. Your imperfection has brought joy." The cracked pot felt something it had never felt before. Not pride, not relief, but understanding. All those years, it had measured its worth by comparing itself to the perfect pot. It believed value meant perfection. It never realized that its unique difference had purpose. From that day on, the cracked pot stopped apologizing. It stopped feeling ashamed. Instead, it began to notice the lives it touched, the bees that visited the flowers, the children who smiled when Hari handed them a bouquet, the gentle colors that brightened the humble home of the farmer. Meanwhile, the perfect pot also learned something. It realized that perfection is not always superior. It had never watered flowers. It had never contributed in that special way. Its pride slowly transformed into humility. Time passed, seasons changed, years rolled on like the steady river's flow. Hari grew older, his steps slower, but his heart remained peaceful. The two pots continued their journeys, but now both carried wisdom. One day, a young boy from the village asked the farmer, "Baba Hari, why do you still use that cracked pot? Why not replace it with a new one?" Hari smiled. "My child," he said, "many people believe worth comes from being flawless, but true worth comes from the good we bring into the world. This pot reminds me that even our weaknesses can become our greatest gifts." The boy nodded, though he did not fully understand. Years later, he would. Because life, like the cracked pot, reveals its lessons slowly. The story of the farmer and the pot spread through the village. Mothers told it to their children. Teachers shared it in classrooms. Elders spoke of it during evening gatherings. And each person understood it differently. Some learned to accept their physical imperfections. Some found courage in their emotional struggles. Some realized that their past mistakes did not define their future. But the deepest lesson remained the same. Self-worth is not measured by perfection. It is revealed through purpose. In life, we often compare ourselves to others. We see their strengths, achievements, and beauty, and we focus on our own cracks. We believe we are less valuable because we are not perfect. But like the cracked pot, we rarely see the unseen impact we create. A kind word we speak may save someone's day. A small effort may inspire someone's dream. A weakness we struggle with may develop empathy within us. Sometimes the very thing we dislike about ourselves becomes the source of our greatest contribution. Hari's wisdom was simple. Do not hide your cracks. Understand them. Use them. Let them serve. Years later, when Hari passed away, the villagers honored him not for his possessions, but for his perspective. They placed both pots near his resting place, surrounded by flowers, the same flowers that had grown from the cracked pot's quiet giving. People who visited would sit nearby and reflect. Some left feeling lighter, some left feeling stronger, some finally forgave themselves. And the path where Hari once walked remained filled with wildflowers, blooming year after year, reminding everyone who saw them that imperfection can create beauty. Weakness can hold purpose. Self-worth grows when we stop comparing and start contributing. Because in the end, life does not ask us to be perfect. It asks us to be meaningful. And sometimes, meaning flows gently through the cracks.